There are 3,141 counties in the United States. Listen to this now. 3,141 counties in the United States. Donald Trump won 3,084 of the 3,141 counties in America. Hillary Clinton won 57 counties in a national election. There are 62 counties in New York State. Trump won 46 of the 62 counties in New York State. Mrs. Clinton won 16. Mrs. Clinton won the popular vote by approximately 2 million votes, somewhere thereabout. In the 5 counties that encompass New York City, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Richmond, and Queens, Clinton received 2 million more votes than Donald Trump. Therefore, these 5 counties, the boroughs of New York City, more than accounted for Hillary Clinton winning the popular vote for the entire country. These counties comprise 319 square miles. The United States is comprised of 3,797,000 square miles. When you have a country that encompasses almost 4 million square miles of territory, would it not be ludicrous to even suggest that the vote of those who inhabit 319 square miles would dictate the outcome of a national election? Thank you, Founding Fathers, for understanding that it was not the way it was intended. A popular vote can't elect a president. And Jefferson, I mean, every chance I get to exclaim his brilliance is a good day on Good Morning PD. Go back and read some of the commentary Jefferson had about cities and how they would consume influence and power, and how the consuming of that influence and power would lead to corruption. And if we don't this Electoral College, if we start going the way of the popular vote, you're going to have 2 or 3 American cities, and their values dictate the values of America. I mean, think of that. This is unbelievable to me. I found it last night. 3,141 counties in America. Trump won 3,084. Clinton won only 57 counties and still led the popular vote by 2 million votes. And the 2 million vote difference is basically, take California out of the equation. I mean, take California out of the equation. That's a big old state. I mean, that's a big, big area. It's a big liberal area, and it's a dominant force in American politics. But in the 5 counties that encompass New York City and the boroughs of New York City, she beat Trump by 2 million votes. So at the end of the day, if we didn't have an Electoral College, the city of New York would elect or not the president of the United States of America. That's unbelievable to me. Thank God for the brilliance of our founders in not allowing for that to happen. And once again, Jefferson was the biggest advocate for opposing the popular vote because he knew that these big cities would consume influence, they would absorb power, they would become such a factor in the American election. And I would just ask people this. I mean, do the values of New York City represent the values of our country? Because if we had a popular vote, it would be the president of New York City. I mean, in essence, that's what we would get. There's roughly 5 million people in the entire state of South Carolina. In the 5 boroughs of New York City, there's 12 or 13 million. So there's 2 1/3 South Carolinas in those 5 counties. It's an enormous political force. And I would just argue, if you are somebody who believes in the popular vote, are you comfortable with New York City deciding who the president is or is not for the United States of America? This is interesting. Maybe you get this on our Facebook page, the number of counties and how many Trump won and how many Clinton won.
Well, I think about the big map.
Oh, yeah, you've seen the red and the blue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's these little pockets, but they're incredibly populated little pockets. And they're Americans. I mean, there's no disputing that. In New York, the majority are.
I was going to say.
Well, I don't know
Are
if the
they?
majority is or not. I mean, that's pretty close.
Really?
You been to New York lately? The cab driver's license has to be about 12 inches long to get the vowels and consonants of his name.
Not many vowels.
No, not very few vowels.
Yeah.
By that man, a vowel is what I always say when I get in a cab in New York City. I say that with sarcasm and humor as I tweet.
Yeah.
We'll be back
There
in a
you go.
minute. Good morning, PD Live 95.